Welcome back to another episode of Chats with Paragals. On this week's episode, we visit Serena and Emma's chosen prisons for our part 2 of our Haunted Prisons series. So go get yourself a drink and get cozy while we discuss all things haunted prisons. First up is Emma with
Wicklow Gaol.
Ooh.
Wicklow Gaol, an 18th century prison, is considered one of Ireland's most haunted sites, featuring reports of ghostly apparitions such as a lady in black hood and a silent man walking walkways, phantom scents of roses or decay, and terrifying noises of crying children.
That's one extreme to the other, like roses to decay. Wow.
Visitors have reported physical encounters, including feelings of strangulation in cell 12 and cold touches in the prayer room.
Don't go into cell 12.
Wicklow Gaol has a long and often grim history that dates back over 300 years. It was originally built around 1702, but much of the structure you see today comes from a later rebuild in 1822. It was used to hold a wide range of prisoners, including criminals, debtors, and political prisoners, especially during the Irish Rebellion of 1798, when many rebels were captured and held there. Conditions were extremely harsh. Prisoners were often...
Sorry.
Conditions were extremely harsh. Prisoners were often kept in cold, damp cells with little food, and men, women, and even children could be imprisoned together. Public executions sometimes took place outside the jail, adding to its fearsome reputation.
That's what made me cry when we were there. The children.
Can we just point this out that you cry in nearly every location?
She hasn't cried now for
I haven't cried in a while.
Time.
That's very true.
I learned my lesson. I shut my empathy down.
Empty? Did you have it? Push them glasses up there.
The jail remained in use for many years before eventually closing in 1924, after Ireland gained independence. Today, it has been restored and turned into a visitor attraction where people can explore its history, and some even claim it's haunted.
It's actually closed again now, though.
Yeah.
Have they not opened it back up?
I think you can still visit it during the day. Like, you can still open if
is
they're
it?
just looking for new
Management to run it, but I thought it was closed while
No,
we were waiting for
it is
Yeah, I
closed
think
because
it's
the
closed.
management have
Gone.
gone.
So
They've
there's
left.
nobody
I
to
thought
run
they
it, like,
were
no.
Wicklow Jail has quite a few chilling and tragic stories tied to its prisoners, one in particular being Billy Byrne, the rebel leader. One of the most famous prisoners was Billy Byrne, a leader during the Irish Rebellion of 1798. He was captured and held in Wicklow Jail after fighting against British forces. Byrne was respected by locals, but the authorities saw him as a major threat. After being imprisoned, he was eventually executed by hanging in 1799. It is said that Byrne remained defiant even in captivity, refusing to betray his fellow rebels.
Go on, Byrne.
Some visitors today claim his spirit is still felt in the jail, especially in the older cell blocks.
Interesting.
Wicklow Jail has built a reputation as one of the most haunted historic sites. Over the years, visitors and staff have reported some seriously eerie experiences. Here are some of the creepiest ones.
Creepy.
The shadowy figure in the cells.
Ew.
People walking through the older cell blocks have reported seeing dark shadow figures standing at the end of the corridor, and the figure would disappear when approached.
No. Creepy.
Some believed it could be tied to the former prisoners from the rebellion, still lingering where they were once held.
Like, imagine just walking down a dark corridor, you see someone at the end of it, and they get gone.
Poof.
No.
Sorry, this is a segue now away from Wicklow Jail, but it's about another prison. I think is it State Penitentiary Prison in America? And someone's walking up on the mezzanine thing, and all the cells are closed, and he looks into one, and there's actually a shadow man there, and he legs it back. I wonder where that video is. I'm going to try to find that video. But it's actually really creepy.
There's something about shadow figures that just... So creepy.
Sudden drops in temperature. Visitors often mention feeling a sudden icy chill in certain cells, even when other parts of the jail feel normal. Staff say this happens repeatedly in the same spots, especially in the older wings of the prison. So that's a bit eerie as well.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a cold shiver kind of.
Yeah. Unexplained footsteps, which is a very common experience here. Hearing footsteps walking behind you, turning around, and there's no one there.
That's really creepy because they're following you.
Yeah.
Like if it's behind you.
Oh.
Yeah. This has been reported by both tourists and employees, especially during the quieter times of the day.
Creepy.
Crying and voices.
Nope.
For some of the most unsettling reports include faint sounds of crying, believed to be the children who were once imprisoned.
That is such a... As soon as children come into it, it's so creepy.
They're just so much creepier than
I
anything
don't know
else.
what it is. Like
But imagine
children
just
hauntings are just... bleh.
walking in Wicklow jail and hearing crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or walking anywhere.
Yeah,
No,
that there's not meant to
sorry.
be.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. No.
Creepy. And often whispering voices in rooms where they're normally silent. So that's...
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a bit creepy. Objects moving on their own. Staff have occasionally claimed doors creaking by themselves, objects being slightly moved or out of place. While they could have natural explanations, the frequency keeps the creepiness.
Yeah, like if it's happening
it
so
there.
often, you're like,
Yeah.
And especially if you become aware of it, you know you're setting
Yeah.
something up in a certain way, and then you come back and it's moved.
It's
just
moved, yeah.
like, oh,
What's going
that's
on
not
there?
right.
no, what's happening here?
And then the heavy feeling. One of the most consistent experiences is something that you don't see, but you can feel.
It's that oppressiveness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
This-
me sitting in the corner crying.
A sudden sense of
Windbag.
unease or dread, feeling like you've been watched. Even people who don't believe in ghosts have mentioned that feeling.
When the night we were
Excuse
there,
me.
that was what everyone in that little room was saying. We were in the waiting area where people waiting
Yeah.
to be
Assessed.
assessed or put into cells, wherever they were waiting for. And everybody that was in that room thought there was someone standing outside the door watching. Like every single person
Yeah.
had the feeling. Everyone kept looking over to see who was looking in.
Who was
like,
watching.
it was,
Yeah.
consistent across the whole group. Like,
That's creepy.
Have you ever visited Wicklow Jail? Have felt any of these? Or is it on one of your must-see places?
I did. You
I did.
I haven't been
did.
to it.
Yeah, it's very creepy.
It is very creepy.
I would
love
like
to
to say
go.
if there's staff members that used to work in Wicklow jail that listen to this
Yeah,
podcast,
let us know.
send in your stories.
Yeah, if anything's ever happened to you.
experiences
Yeah.
Because it's a creepy place.
It is. It actually is a creepy place.
I
I'd
would
love
like to go back. I feel like the night we were there, I didn't get enough out of it. Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would love to go back and see it again. Now that we have more experience.
How come? All the places that you have been, I have never been to, and they've all closed. Like,
Oh, this is a trend.
Don't put that on us. We're closing places down.
no, I don't mean like that. Not like that, but like you can't go back. Like you
Yeah, I
can't go
know.
to Wicklow Jail. You can't go to
Loftus Hall.
Loftus Hall.
Was it you I was with? And we were down in the dungeons part, and the door just opened and closed.
Oh, that's creepy.
Just opened and closed. And we were standing there going, right. And next thing, it just felt like, I think there was only about
Where was this?
3 or 4 of us in Wicklow jail.
I can't remember.
Only
I can't
about
remember Wicklow Jail. I just remember sitting in that room crying.
3 or 4 of us in the cell. And next thing, you felt like there's about 100 people in this room.
Oh, yeah. It got really
Yeah.
crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really creepy.
And the other part that was creepy was, or maybe I'm getting mixed up. Is there like a bit that was part of a ship or something?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
Wicklow
that's-
Jail, wasn't
yeah.
it? That was really creepy too. I didn't like that. There was a very uncomfortable vibe up there.
Yeah. We were getting a murderer up there, weren't we?
When we went, it was only for like a Halloween tour. Remember, I was on my phone trying to take pictures, and there was loads of orbs everywhere.
Oh my god, yeah.
Wow.
There were so many orbs.
Mm.
Creepy place.
It
Would love
is.
to
How
get
come
in
I
there.
didn't get to go with you? What was?
We didn't all go at the same time. They went to like an after dark tour, I think,
Oh,
together,
right,
and
okay.
then me and Karen went on a public investigation.
All
like,
right, that makes
dogs ago.
sense. Makes sense.
Still can't remember
Sorry,
who
we didn't go
that
out,
was
you
with.
like, it was just-
No, I know that. I don't.
Jeez, this was years ago.
It's fine.
I don't
didn't
even
go
remember.
either,
I barely remember it.
I'm trying to think.
Somebody open it back up and let us
Yeah, I
investigate
want to go
it,
back.
please.
I want to go back. I've never
I'm
been.
not charged.
Jack.
Maybe you have been there.
Whoa.
Dun.
Alter ego.
Yeah. I know, it is a cool place. It is very creepy, now I have to say. Didn't they used to hang the prisoners over the front door?
Yeah, it was I think the gallows were over.
Yeah, that's the gallows. That's the word I was looking for.
I think so.
Yeah.
Or there was some of them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creepy. Creepy.
So now Serena is going to do her story on
Alcatraz prison.
Ooh.
So Alcatraz prison. Rising from the cold waters of San Francisco Bay, the island known as Alcatraz.Ireland has always felt set apart from the world. Winds whip across its cliffs, tides churn hard and fast. Long before it became synonymous with hardened criminals and whispered ghost stories, it was simply a lonely outcrop of rock. The island sits in the icy waters of San Francisco Bay and has worn many grim hats over the years. In the 1850s, it was first used as a military fort and prison. And in the 1860s to 1930s, it became a military disciplinary barracks.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's actually very, I don't know how they call Spike Island the Alcatraz of Ireland now, because it's
Yeah,
even a
yeah.
similar history.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then from 1934 to 1963, it was operated as a maximum security federal prison. So in the 1850s, during the California gold rush, the US government recognized the island's strategic value, and soldiers fortified the rock to guard the bay. A fort was constructed to protect San Francisco from naval attack. Cannons were mounted high above the bay, though they were never actually fired in battle. Barracks were built and eventually prisoners arrived. By the Civil War, Alcatraz had become a military prison. Men who resisted orders, deserters, and later Native American prisoners were confined here. Even then, guards spoke of the wind howling through the stone corridors at night,
Oh,
like
God.
a living thing.
That would be so creepy.
But
Yeah.
even the name, like as soon as someone says Alcatraz, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
you get the shiver.
creepy.
By 1859, Alcatraz had also become a military prison. Isolation was the island's greatest weapon. But it was in 1934 that the island became legendary. That year, Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary opened its iron doors. The men sent there were considered beyond reform. In 1934, during the height of Prohibition-era crime, Alcatraz reopened as a federal penitentiary. It was designed to hold the worst of the worst, inmates who caused trouble at other prisons. The idea was simple. If discipline failed elsewhere, Alcatraz would break their defiance. Among its most infamous prisoners was Al Capone. Once a powerful Chicago crime boss, Capone arrived in 1934, stripped of influence. On Alcatraz, he was just inmate AZ-85. Syphilis had begun to deteriorate his mind, and fellow inmates recall his vacant stare as he practiced banjo in the prison band.
That's so random.
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
Banjo.
The banjo in the prison band.
Just sitting there staring off.
That's literally it. Another notorious inmate was George Machine Gun Kelly,
Ooh.
convicted of kidnapping, but perhaps the most enduring legend belongs to Robert Stroud, known as the Birdman of Alcatraz. Popularized by the film Birdman of Alcatraz, Stroud did not keep birds on Alcatraz. Ornithological studies occurred during his earlier imprisonment at Leavenworth. On Alcatraz, he was held in isolation. The prison was strict but not especially brutal by the standards of its time. Prisoners received basic necessities: food, clothing, shelter, and medical care. The rule was simple. It was not the largest prison in America, nor the most violent. It was something colder, controlled, calculated, unyielding. Yet isolation weighed heavy. The water surrounding the island was only about 1.25 miles from the shore. You can convert that to kilometres yourself.
No, thank you.
Nah, I take your word for it.
But the currents were deadly cold. Officially, 14 escape attempts were made by 36 men between 1934 and 1963. Most were caught. Some drowned. 5 were listed as missing and presumed drowned,
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
including Frank Morris and brothers John Anglin and Clarence Anglin.
What a way to go.
Mm.
Yikes.
Cold. In 1962, Frank and the brothers began carving at the crumbling vent beneath his sink with a stolen spoon. Night after night, they scraped away at that weakened concrete while music hour.
Sorry, a spoon.
Yeah, a spoon.
Just
You
a
know,
nor-
spoon
just
of
a-
each, so
Like
No, just a normal spoon, like.
a normal metal spoon that they stole.
Just fair play to him.
So they did that while the music hour masked the sound. Behind their cell walls lay a forgotten utility corridor. They fashioned dummy heads from soap, toothpaste, toilet paper, and real hair swept from the barbershop floor.
very innovative.
Wow.
Lord.
At night, the false faces rested beneath blankets while guards presumed,
That would freak. Imagine you seeing that in bed. Look,
while guards passed by unaware. On June 11th, 1962, the men climbed to the roof, inflated a raft stitched from stolen raincoats, and slipped into the freezing black water.
Jesus Christ,
They were
they were
quite smart.
determined.
Fucking hell.
They were never seen again.
Oh,
That's smart.
Their improvised raft and paper mache dummy heads remain one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American
Maybe they
criminal
got away
history.
and had a whole new life somewhere.
maybe they're living
Maybe.
up down in some Bahamas or somewhere.
Going down to Mexico. Officially, they drowned in the currents of San Francisco Bay. Unofficially, no bodies were ever recovered.
They're living it up somewhere.
And that uncertainty became part of the island's legend.
They were food for the fishes.
Alright, they're Al Capone. But if the escape fed mystery, Cell House D fed fear. At the far end of the prison sat the hole, a row of isolation cells where light barely reached and cold clung to the concrete.
No, thank you.
One cell in particular, 14D, gathered whispers. According to long-told accounts, a prisoner once screamed throughout the night that something with glowing eyes stood inside the darkness with him.
Oh Lord.
No. Nope.
Guards dismissed it as hysteria. Solitary confinement had broken stronger men before. By morning, the screams had stopped.
Oh.
The prisoner was found dead.
Oh.
Records list the death as suicide, yet some guards later claimed that during the dawn head count, for a brief second, there appeared to be one inmate too many standing in line.
No, stop. I got full body shivers.
Yuck.
Modern visitors still report sudden cold spots in 14D. Some feel pressure on their chest, others hear faint whispering or the scrape of something against stone, as if someone is still digging.
Creepy.
Oh, gosh.
By 1963, the prison closed. The infrastructure had deteriorated and operating costs were too high, but the silence that followed did not last. From 1969 to 1971, Native American activists occupied Alcatraz, citing historic treaty rights and drawing attention to Indigenous issues across the United States. The occupation became a defined moment in modern Native American activism, giving the island a second life as a symbol of resistance. Today, Alcatraz is managed by the National Park Service and welcomes over 1 million visitors each year.
Whoa.
And with the visitors come the stories. Reporting of hauntings began almost as soon as the prison closed. Former guards and their families, who once lived on the island, had earlier spoken of strange occurrences. Unexplained cold spots and the sound of metal doors clanging when no one was near. Distant banjo music drifting from the former shower room where Al Capone once played.
Okay,
Sorry.
Cell House D, particularly the isolation cells known as the Hole, is frequently cited as the most active area. Visitors describe sudden temperature drops, the sensation of being watched, and disembodied whispers.
Oh God.
One cell, 14D, has gained particular notoriety. Some claim to feel an intense presence there. Others report hearing crying or murmuring. There are also tales of a headless soldier roaming the old citadel ruins of the military area.
Nice.
Why is there always crying?
And someone
Everywhere.
headless.
And someone headless.
After the crack.
There you
And
go.
psychic investigators have claimed to sense residual trauma embedded in the stone walls.
No shit.
No, there definitely has to be.
Has to
In
be.
any prison
Mm.
on the planet, there has to be residual energy. Sorry. Just this.
Oh, definitely. Many historians suggest that the environment itself, echoing corridors, shifting winds, thick concrete, and the power of suggestion can easily play tricks on the senses.
Fair point.
Yeah.
What is undeniable is that Alcatraz carries layers of human experience: confinement, regret, defiance, isolation, and survival. The cold wind that whistles through broken windows once moved past men counting the days of their sentences. The clang of the door today is often just the wind, or is it? But it sounds the same as it did in 1938.
Oh.
Whether haunted by spirits or memory, Alcatraz endures as a place where history feels close. On fog-heavy evenings, when San Francisco disappears behind the grey curtain and the island stands alone in the bay, it is easy to understand why stories linger.
Oh, a place such dark history, like
Yeah,
it's gonna have.
some places are frightening because of what might be there, Alcatraz is unsettling because of what we know once was.
Ugh.
Let's look at one of the other stories of Alcatraz, the abandoned hospital wing.
Oh,
Oh,
Christ.
there's always something abandoned. Isn't there?
Above the main cell house, most visitors rush through it during their daytime tours. Very few linger. And it's because where the body healed, the mind broke.
Oh, no.
The
If we read,
hospitals-
we'd be the people that would linger here.
Oh, definitely, yeah. The hospital sat on the upper level of the prison, overlooking the cold waters of San Francisco Bay. It treated everything from influenza outbreaks to violent injuries, but also it handled advanced syphilis, which slowly destroyed the brain, severe mental breakdowns, self-inflicted wounds, aftermaths of fights and suicide attempts. Unlike the rigid discipline downstairs, the hospital was quiet. Too quiet.
Oh.
Former rangers and paranormal investigators consistently say the hospital wing feels heavier than the cell house.
I can imagine.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Noticeably colder than certain rooms and oppressively silent. Some believe this is because many of the inmates deteriorated mentally there. Several men suffering from late-stage syphilis experienced hallucinations, paranoia and violent mood swings before death.
It was probably more like an asylum at that stage.
Yeah.
So you're telling me people don't think it's haunted? Yeah, lads, get a grip.
The combination of isolation, illness and fear of dying alone created an atmosphere that many claim never disappeared. Reported hauntings in the hospital wing include a shadow figure, with visitors often reporting a tall shadow standing at the end of the corridors. Movement from inside former surgical rooms, a dark shape passing doorways when no one was there. These reports are consistent and usually from people who didn't know the wing's ghost stories beforehand.
Creepy, creepy, creepy.
The beds in the room were iron bed frames, and they still remain there
But they
today.
just are creepy anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the look of them, they're just.
Even guides have reported the sound of sheets rustling, the distant creak of someone shifting weight in the bed,
Ugh.
and the beds appearing slightly moved after being untouched. No draft strong enough to cause movement have been found.
Oh, that's
Mm.
so creepy.
Creepy, creepy.
Disembodied voices, perhaps the most common experience, are faint groans, low whispers, what sounds like someone breathing close behind you.
Oh.
Shit, that sent a shiver down
yuck.
your spine.
EVP recordings have allegedly captured faint responses when investigators ask, "Are you in pain?" Imagine asking that and something going,
Yeah.
I think I'd run.
Towards it.
No way. Out the window.
So there's sudden cold spots in the building as well. Even though it's drafty, certain areas feel sharply colder, and particularly the old operating room.
Ooh.
In the isolation recovery rooms and at the end of the corridor closest to the morgue area. Some visitors describe the cold as sinking into the bones. There's also the psychological factor when it comes to Alcatraz, because it was not built for compassion. Men were brought to the hospital, were often already mentally fragile, afraid of being transferred to D block, facing terminal illnesses.
Starting a car. No.
Unlike prisons on the mainland, escape was impossible, even from your own failing body. Some historians believe that what people feel isn't a haunting in traditional sense, but a residual trauma, an emotional imprint left behind. So in the morgue, a few talk about the small area used to temporarily hold bodies before transferring to the mainland. No dramatic ghost story is tied to it, and that, some say, make it worse. Visitors report a suffocating feeling, sudden anxiety, the urge to leave immediately. Even skeptics admit to atmosphere changes in that corner. Why the hospital wing gets less public attention, unlike Block D or Cell 14D, there's no single famous death story tied to the hospital. Instead, it carries something subtler: slow suffering, prolonged decline, lonely deaths. That kind of energy, believers argue, lingers longer than violence.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like more darker almost than
Yeah.
like that suffering.
So it definitely has to leave them a stronger
Yeah,
residual energy.
Absolutely.
Some want to claim rational explanations, saying that the building is decaying and the wind moves unpredictably. Acoustics carry sound upward from the cell house. Suggestion plays a powerful role in perception. The human brain is highly sensitive in dim, abandoned environments. Still, even experienced park rangers have admitted they prefer not to be alone there after closing hours.
Yeah, you see, it's all well and good to say it's a pair of suggestion, you're in a creepy place.
But
But
until
if
you're there,
people like that, you know, that work there, or that are not in it for the paranormal, that are just minding their own business going around,
Yeah,
if they're saying it, like,
Yeah.
something's
Yeah.
going on, you know?
it has to be. And I understand that, like, wind and, like, it's an old building. But if it still sounds the same, like that iron door slamming
Yeah.
shut, the cell door slamming shut,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not wind.
There's no way the wind's doing that every time.
No. It can't.
That's
Creepy
ugh.
places.
I
Yeah.
had a shiver a good few times
Yeah,
through
same.
that story. Like, ugh.
So, out of the 4 prisons that we've done, Lisa doing Spike Island, me doing Pretori prison in Tallinn, Estonia, Emma doing Wicklow Jail, and Serena doing Alcatraz. Which one do you find the absolute most creepiest?
Oh, it's hard to pick one. They were all so creepy. I don't like Wicklow Jail because of the actual, like, they actually hung people there. Like
Yeah.
I know there was killings in the other ones, like, and people died and whatever, but they actually just, like, it was because of that freaks me out a bit. I think that people
Spike and
That
Alcatraz
fear.
are very similar.
Very
as well.
similar,
Very
creepy vibes.
similar.
Even in their history of, like, what
Yeah,
they were
what
and
they
stuff like
were.
that.
I think mine was the most kind of disturbing and vicious.
Yeah, very vicious.
Yeah, just because of the era, and then being a Soviet
Mm.
prison and all that.
everything that was going on at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. They all had their
They all
all
their
had the creepy
creeps.
factor. It's hard to choose.
Yeah, it really is. In their own way, they're all creepy.
Which one did the listeners find creepiest? Let us know in the comments.
Yes, please do. Would you spend the night in any of them?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
obviously.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'd spend the night in all of them.
All
to
of
be
them.
honest.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yes, please.
And did you believe?
Yes, but I would also like to go there and investigate just so I can
Yes,
see
I
for
can-
sure.
Yeah.
To just, like, solidify
Confirm it. Like,
other people's stories.
yeah.
Yeah. No. So, if you have visited or worked in any of these prisons, please let us know and tell us your stories.
Yeah,
Because we
we'd
would
love to
actually
hear from you.
love to hear from that.
That
See-
would be deadly to hear people's
Yeah,
own
That'd
stories.
be so good.
Yeah.
Especially from staff members who are like, they're there to work, they're not there to,
They're
like,
not there looking for us
To get
scare
the
us.
experience.
Yeah. And I love hearing from particularly staff members that are skeptical and or non-believers, and there's just things that they cannot explain happening, and you're sitting there with going, yeah, I can tell you what that was.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. But the real question is, would any of you listeners be brave enough to spend a night in one of the world's most haunted prisons? Don't forget, if you enjoy our spooky chats, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Give us a like and a comment, as your engagement will help keep us going. You can find us on social media under Paragals.Ireland. So please get in touch if you have any paranormal stories you would like to feature on a future episode. You can email us at Paragals.Ireland@gmail.com. In the meantime, stay spooky. Bye.